Now, Mole Man is my favorite champion in this game, and I finally get to take him into Alliance War after a pretty big break from Masters War. It's been like 2 or 3 seasons, and I'm now back at Salty, and honestly, Salty is like my Masters home at this point. If I ever want to go back into Masters, this is where I will go. Pretty much all the time. So yeah, we're back in Salty, and the Alliance goal is to get World Champion, of course, but my goal is to just have fun and not ruin it for the other players, because I don't want to give up any unnecessary deaths, and that is why I am boosting to the core on pretty much every matchup just to be safe. So here we have this Path for Void, and it's pretty straightforward, because Mole Man loves Path 4 because the debuffs fuel his monster mass and he gets Fury passives as well, so this happens. Yeah, that was about 12 seconds I believe, but it gets even crazier because this alliance placed Null on Path 4. Now, Null has a ton of debuffs at the start of the fight, and that gets converted into Fury passives for Mole Man. So the result is honestly just so goofy, but here I mess up big time. I mess up what could have been a world record Alliance War fight, because look at that, man. I lose all my monster mass, so I'm already upset because of that, but then I do like a 59,000 medium attack, and yeah, the fight's over in 9 seconds. It could have been 5 seconds, man, so I'm super upset about that still. It should have been like, man, it should have been 5 seconds. So silly. But now we have this Path 4 Spider Ham, and this isn't a big deal. I have taken this plenty with rank 4 Mole Man, so rank 5 Ascended should be even better for it. So let's see the fight time here for this matchup. Rank 5 Spider Ham, of course, because now in Alliance War there's only rank 5 defenders, I feel like, which is definitely very scary, but Mole Man is rank 5 Ascended, so he should be able to deal with them pretty easily, which he does here, because check out this damage, man. 12k mediums, and he is just down. Just like that. 17 seconds there. And now we have this rank 5 spot for the next matchup, and here I'm going to change my boost to Power Start 1, but check out this absolute rookie mistake. So I go in, and I use an invuln when I already have one up, and I wasn't even supposed to use that boost. So I feel like such a muppet now because I used a really precious boost and it's gonna do nothing for me. So that's a fun time, man. There goes like 360 units. You love to see it. Yeah, that was so fun and so smart of me. To be fair, it was like 3 a.m. at this point. I was tired. Don't tell my alliance that, but I was just a bit exhausted, right? So let's see this spot fight. Power Start 1 is active, and just check out how fast this fight is. We drop a heavy attack, we enter Frenzy, we go back in, get the intercept, drop the SP2, and yeah, just one SP2 is needed. That was like a 14-second fight. I don't know anymore with this champion, man. He is simply too good in Alliance War. He is such a fast champion, it's not even funny. So now we have another fight here, but this time we are using Silk, and the rest of this war is Silk fight. So rank 2, 7-star Silk makes her Alliance War debut on my channel. I am pumped. I am super pumped because she is such a crazy champion. But this fight wasn't really a good one. I played it pretty terribly, but it's fine. You know, I'll get second chances sooner or later. Maybe I won't though, because she is getting banned a lot, probably, unfortunately, because she is just that good. I think she is the best pure attacker of 2023, so she might not really make it past these first few wars before getting banned a ton. But honestly, this tactic is just insane. There is Cassie Lang, there's Quicksilver, there's Hulk as well, Spider-Man 299, Sandman, like a lot of great champions that are tactic, but I think Silk is just so strong and so fast in most matchups that she is by far one of the biggest threats for, you know, just attacking in general. But this Thing fight is pretty slow because Thing is Thing. You gotta love Thing, man. Such a fun champion overall. Big fan of this guy. Just kidding, cannot stand him because look at that. He just invalidates my SP2 right there. Love to see it. So I play this really badly, if you can't tell already. Just really poor play on my end. This could actually be like 45 seconds if you play it right, but I'm not playing it right. I'm playing it in the worst way. So that is just a grand time. But here I kind of get something going at least. I get a heavy chain after this for the SP2. And yeah, the damage output is pretty nice. Even with like minimal vulnerabilities, still does some pretty good damage output because it's Silk, right? Silk is just that good. But yeah, I drop a heavy attack, we go back in. There I can just parry, and then the fight is now pretty much over. Not too shabby, but really slow overall. I could do it better next time for sure. So hopefully when she's not banned again, I can use her for that fight and do it a lot better, or maybe even do it worse. Who knows, right? Because I'm not that good at this game, and you're going to see that, yeah, sometimes I just play pretty terribly. But not here. I feel like here I played pretty well. We have this Kindred fight. Kindred is very scary, of course, but with this tactic, you take 0 degen damage pretty much if you use a tactic attacker. So Kindred is kind of not that hard at all. He's pretty straightforward with this tactic, so it does suck to see because he's still a very new defender, and this tactic makes him like 100 times easier. Quite unfortunate, but it's fine, man. Besides this, he is a pretty good defender, like in battlegrounds and whatnot. So there's not too much of a worry about his overall value on defense. It's just in this tactic where he is not too great. But here I drop the SP2, and it does some pretty nice damage, even with no Fury. Like, that is very, very strong. And here I can just go in, and this has gone just really well so far, in my opinion. And there he drops SP1. It's fine. Just dodge it. Go back in afterwards, and we're now approaching the root part, so I got to be careful for that. So I have to play it slow here, make sure I have a bar power before he gets 5%, which he does there. So I drop my SP1, he blocks it, it's fine. I can just go in afterwards and do a combo, and that ends the fight. So not too shabby in the slightest. 58 seconds for a mini boss, very, very solid stuff. And here we have an Mcoc Chavez as well. Now Chavez is much easier with this tactic as well, because with her dimensions, they get removed if you place a wither on her, and with this tactic, you place withers pretty much all the time. So she is also one of the defenders that pretty much gets invalidated, right? And here she's on Conflictor, which is also invalidated because withers reduce ability power rate, which is Conflictor. So no big deal there. And yeah, Chavez is one of my least favorite champions to fight, so I'm glad that she is thankfully a lot easier. So now we can just bait out the heavy attack, but then we remove the dimension immediately, which is perfect. And here she drops the SP2, but the Silk Sense saves me. The Silk Sense is so overpowered, man. It is such a nice safety net, and you combine that with her massive health pool already, and it is just wild, man. So here she drops the SP1, no big deal. Then she drops it again afterwards, I think. Yeah, she drops it here, no big deal again. And the withers help maintain the Conflictor node, so she doesn't gain too much power. But then here I drop the SP2, and check out this damage. Minimal vulnerabilities, 1 Fury, and it does that much damage still. Yeah, Silk is just so crazy. I love her so much. And this fight is now pretty much over. 17,000 heavy attack. Just Silk doing Silk things, man. And yeah, that is my war concluded. Moleman had an average fight time of 13 seconds, so let that sink in with just how powerful he is. And Silk just wiped out those mini bosses. Both of these champions are my favorite attackers probably, just so fun to play and so safe as well, and just some crazy good damage dealers. So yeah, looking forward to this season, hopefully no slip ups or anything, but let me know your thoughts on this war, and yeah, that's about it for me.